This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yeah. See, Murli asked one question like how rollback will works. Okay. So not only in SQL Server, like see, we have different database management system, right? How the every database management system we have the rollback. So, but every engine will acts different, sir. Okay. When you go for Oracle, when you go for SQL, because completely there are two different engines. But how the rollback will work? See, basically we are performing two types of transactions. Like one is implicit transaction, one is explicit transaction. So anyone knows what is implicit transaction and explicit transaction? Anyone knows?
Implicit means the database, when you run query, database automatically commits, right?
Okay.
And explicit means you are going to start with the begin transaction, fire a query, and then you are going to give
Exactly.
commit.
Exactly. Yes, right. Okay. So when we are performing normal select statement in SQL, okay, SQL, when we are performing normal select statement, that is automatically committed. So you no need to explicitly pass the commit button to perform the commit. Okay. So whatever you are insert, update, delete, so that will be automatically commit, the implicit commit. Okay. So when you are writing any queries over the SQL, but when you are writing any queries over T-SQL, transaction SQL, which you are using the begin transaction, okay, that is, should be explicitly you need to pass the commit, right? Okay. So that is explicit commit. See, next. So when we perform the rollback, sir, see, whatever the transactions you are performing, that can be done only in the buffer and the log file, right? That is, you not yet performing anything over the data file, primary data file, like inserts or update or delete, everything. So whatever you are performing changes, that need to be done over the buffer, then it need to be log file, right? Okay. So there is a concept called in log file, there is a concept called undo space reserved. In log file, in transaction log file, there is one undo space reserved. Okay, is available for every object. See, whatever we are performing, in case if you want to roll back, that undo space will reserved space will be used, and it will roll back your transaction. It will roll back your transaction like LOP delete rows. So it will trigger internally. So when we are discussing log file internals, okay, so when I will show you completely what kind of events it will write in the log file. So we can read the log file like fn underscore db log using that. Okay. Murli, getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there is some undo space reserved space will be available in log file that can be used when you perform the undo operation, Murli. Okay, like LOP
Okay,
delete rows, LOP delete rows will be used.
okay, got it.
See, like a different transaction. See, we can discuss like truncate and delete. So when we go for truncate and delete, in truncate, okay, so it will truncate the complete data and it will keep the structure, right? Yes or no? When you perform the truncate, it will delete complete the data and it will keep the structure of your object. It won't delete the structure. But when we go for delete also, it will delete the complete number of rows, and where we can delete certain number of rows. So undo will be works in the log file, not in data file. We are not touching anything over the data file. So whatever you are performing rollbacks, okay, so that will be done in the log file, okay, in data cache. So that is the purpose mainly. See, whenever you are pushing the data, it will arrange the data in log files, sir. It won't do any arrangement. Okay, everything, your data arrangement, everything will done in the log file to improve the process to loading the data into the database. Database means MDF or NDF. When you are loading the data into the MDF or LDF, the data arrangement. Okay, so the data arrangement will be everything done in the log file itself. Like it is like a protection, additional protection of your data file. Okay, why Microsoft is keeping a separate log file means so data arrangement, okay, data undo, everything is done in the log file itself. Like it's like a saving. So when we go for asset properties, now we are going to discuss. So durability is nothing but protection. How you are protecting our transactions which are performing over the buffer means moving the data into the log file. Moving the data into the log file. This is how you will protect the data if something happened to your server. So that is nothing but a durability. Like every transaction, so whatever we are performing, not only SQL, sir, okay, wherever you go, whatever the database management system that need to be satisfy asset properties, atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Okay, so durability is nothing but if something happened to your system, how you will protect your transaction is moving the data into the log file. Every transaction, so whatever you are performing the changing over the buffer, that transaction will be logged in the log file. So we have internally log flush. So we have
So
too many.
if that is a
Sorry.
so if
Yes.
it is a committed or uncommitted, it will write to the log file, right?
Yes. Exactly. So log file
Okay.
will contains committed transaction, failed transaction, everything. So when you are
Okay.
moving into the
Mhm.
database, it will perform the committed transaction will be moved to the database, and uncommitted transaction will be rolled back.
Okay. If in between that time, if we schedule any log backup, so it will take the backup of uncommitted transactions
Yes,
also.
complete log backup. Complete your log backup. Either it can be committed or uncommitted. It will take complete your log file backup. When
Okay.
you are restoring itself,
Mhm.
see, yes, good question actually. When you are restoring, you everyone knows, anyone knows what is the recovery phase? Recovery phase will
Yes.
contain three phases.
Mhm. It will undo all the uncommitted transactions and the what are the committed transaction, it will write to the disk.
Okay, let me go to the recovery. No, 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 no. Somehow, no. Wait, 1 second. Yeah, see, this what? Okay. Let me explain. Okay. So we have analysis, undo, redo. Okay, three phases will be available. Okay, who are listening first time, no worries, we have again session, I will explain you clearly. Analysis phase, this is very important. Okay, see, in analysis, the transaction log to determine what is the last checkpoint and create the dirty page table and the active transaction table. It will create the two tables. If something happening in your database, in case so suddenly your server is corrupted, or something happened to your shutting down your database, like making offline. Okay, so analysis will see, we'll have two additional tables like dpt and att table, active transaction table, and dirty page table. It create how many dirty pages are available in the buffer, that will be complete data will be captured in this table, 30 page table. Okay, so how many transaction that not yet moved to the mdf, those will be available in the active transaction table. That is analysis phase actually. So whatever we are getting like a blocks, may not, but this is the right what analysis will do means analysis contains two uh, uh, tables. One is dirty page table, one active transaction table. We'll discuss a lot, okay, about this. Here we have one interesting concept called undo. Rollback incompleted transaction found in the ATT to make sure that, okay, integrity of the database is preserved. Okay, so whenever you are restoring only, Anita, it will come to know that log file contains the uncommitted transactions. When you are taking the backup, it won't worry about whether it is commit or uncommitted, how many. No, it will just simply capture the log backup and it keep it handy for you. When you are restoring itself, it will came to know how many are committed, how many are uncommitted.
Oh, okay.
So this is the two tables. Everyone, please make a note. Very interesting. So when you are someone is asking recovery phase, analysis part is it's like a interesting concept. DPT table and ATT table will be created internally. Okay. We'll discuss in a restore concept, sir. Okay. I don't want again clumsy everything. Yeah. Where we are. Yes. Any questions? Clear, everyone? Murli, Anita.
Yes, Subbu. Yeah.
Okay. So recovery phase is very important, sir. That is what yesterday also I told you, right? To improve the recovery phase, checkpoint will help you a lot. Okay, because checkpoint is process is moving the data into the disk. Okay, so whenever you make a see, very interesting question is what will happen if you stop and start the database? If you make the database offline and if you bring back database offline, what will happen backend? What will happen? SQL Server will run recovery phase. SQL Server will run recovery phase internally. Without recovery phase, your database won't come to online. Please try to remember, everyone. Okay. So what will happen? Sir, only when I stop the SQL services and start the SQL services, SQL will run the recovery phase? No. If you make the database offline and again start the database to online, SQL Server internally will run the recovery phase. Because when you are making the database offline, what are the dirty pages still not yet moved? What are the pending transactions available in log file? Okay, that need to be bring back when it is coming to online, then it will come to online. With until unless SQL run the recovery phase, your database won't comes to online. Remember, everyone? It's clear? Online people?
Yes.
Okay, it's because everyone is so silent. Okay, that's the reason. Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the lazy writer. Okay. It is also like internal operation, but there is no control on it. We don't have any control on lazy writer. It is an internal thread. A checkpoint lazy writer is an internal thread by which is triggering by the SQL OS. Okay, SQL OS having DLLs. Okay, SQL OS.dll. The DLLs will triggers the checkpoint lazy writer. We'll discuss that part as well. Okay, so lazy writer is also a internal operation which is triggering whenever your RAM gets full. Until unless, see, how frequently the lazy writer is also triggering is very important, sir. Okay, so because it need to every time it need to clean up the buffer. It need to every time it need to clean up the buffer. Okay, so what is lazy writer? Lazy writer process also flushes out the dirty pages to the disk. It will flushes completely. It will flushes the disk means it will clean up the data cache to make RAM healthy. It will clean up the okay dirty pages to make RAM healthy. It will always lazy writer work is to make RAM is very healthy. Apart from nothing lazy writer will do. Again you will get one doubt, sir. Checkpoint is already moving the data, right? Again, if but it is not flushing the data from the disk, sir. It is not, sorry, it is not flushing the data from buffer cache. Then what about the lazy writer? Lazy writer will flush. Lazy writer will flush the dirty pages or clean pages to make RAM healthy. So it will follow one algorithm, sir. When it is flushing, okay, it will follow one algorithm. What is that algorithm means? Okay, least used pages or least reference count. Every page, so whatever you are copying from MDF2 and data cache, okay, it will make one count, sir, in buffer. When you read the page, when you read the page, we have first on top of page header we have one more layer, sir, internally. When so I told you yesterday we had a discussion about page architecture, right? Your page architecture will contain the page header, page footer. We have one more concept called buffer. Your buffer information will also available within the database. So a buffer will make one reference count whenever you are using the page in the buffer. Okay, so whenever lazy writer invokes, it will use least user pages or least reference code, but we are not sure how much of count it will make. Okay, nowhere even Microsoft is mentioned, but how many pages if a clears, if a flush, then RAM becomes healthy. That is how it will make the calculations or lazy writer. Okay, so based on that, it will flush the data from the buffer to make RAM is very healthy. Okay, see, checkpoint does not remove the dirty page from the memory. The dirty page after returning to the disk are masked as a clean page and stay in the buffer. Clear? That is what, right, sir, yesterday we discussed. Checkpoint never flushes any pages from disk, sorry, any pages in buffer. It will just move the data. So once your dirty page is moved to the disk, so it will mark as a clean page. Okay, it will mark as a clean page. Okay, see, your lazy writer process check for the pages in the buffer and flushes them to the disk. It removes both the clean page and dirty page from the buffer cache. Its the job is keeping the certain number of free pages available inside the buffer pool so that other queries not be suffer. Means, so in real world, sir, when you go to the real world, concurrent transactions are running. Many users will connect, application users will connect. Okay, customer will connect. They are performing multiple transactions. Make sure that memory should be sufficient to perform all the queries. Okay, so that is the purpose of the lazy writer. We don't have any control on lazy writer. So like how checkpoint we can control by changing the interval time. No, sir, we don't have any control on lazy writer. It will automatically triggers. Checkpoint never flushes the pages over the buffer, but lazy writer will flushes the pages over the buffer. Okay, we have different types of checkpoint, but there is no types like nothing. So lazy writer is a just this is a concept. Okay, it's a feature, sorry, not concept. Got you?
How often it runs also we don't know, right?
No, no, no. It's like in a simple understanding, lazy writer is always in sleepy mode. Whenever RAM is getting full, it will invoke. That is the term we can use. It's always like a lazy. It's always in the sleepy mode. Whenever your RAM is getting full, automatically but lazy writer need to invoke, okay, as frequent as, because it need to be flushes the pages, right? Otherwise your RAM is keep on going. Because see, the main concern is SQL loves memory, not CPU, not IO. SQL will loves memory because, so for example, your database size is 1.5 TB. Okay, 1.5 TB contains around 100 tables. You are using all 100 tables frequently. Assume. So SQL server will expect 1.5 terabytes RAM to keep all and 1.5 TB in memory so that your performance will be good. When compared to disk, memory performance is too good. And nowadays, even disk is also performing very well because we have SSD. Now we are moving SSD, right? So when we are discussing storage concept in Azure, I will explain you what is the HDD, hard disk drive, what is SSD, okay, how many throughputs you are getting over SSD, okay. But SQL much interest to keep everything, whatever you are performing, that will be keep. It should be keep, it will likes to keep in memory so that the process, your query process will be quicker, faster. Okay, don't get confused. Lazy writer will flushes dirty pages along with the clean page. I remember even last batch student also get confused. Sorry, why you are telling that the lazy writer will flushes the dirty pages? No, it won't flush. It will flush. So I am having the article, I believe. I already shared to that student as well. Let me share for you as well. Okay, just go to that article. You will get clear information. Lazy writer will flushes the both clean page and the dirty pages. Its main purpose is to make RAM healthy. Okay, how many pages if we clear, if you RAM healthy, those many pages it will clear flushes. Okay, but how often? No, it need to be run very oftenly because frequently make RAM healthy. Okay, so we have a performance counter, sir. When we are discussing performance counters in advanced performance tuning, I will show you what is the lazy rater, what is the benchmark value you need to remember. Okay, so that you need to see the lazy rater checkpoint, how frequently your checkpoint is triggering, how frequently your lazy rater is triggering. We can measure this frequency using the uh, performance counter, sir. Okay, that we'll discuss in performance counter concept. Any questions?
Okay.
Okay, next. So what is eager writer? What is eager writer? SQL Server performs certain activities as a non-logged operation. The examples are select into, bulk insert, okay, write text, and update text. Okay, so when you are performing these operations, select into means this we will use very frequently. Most of the time we will use this one. Okay, like if you wanted to take the table level backup. Okay, not import export we are not performing, but if you wanted to take the table level backup, or if you wanted to create a table based on the structure of another table with the data, then we will go for select into. Okay, bulk operations, when you are performing bulk operations, when you are using write a text and update text in file stream concept. Okay, so eager writer will process handle both the page creation and page writing in parallel. Okay, so this is how your performance will be improved. But internal side, this is internal concept. Okay, eager writer is also a part of SQL Server internals only. So when you are performing this certain operation like select into, bulk insert, write a text, update a text, eager writer process handle both the page creation and page writing in parallel, so that your query do not wait to complete the entire bulk operation before writing all the pages to the disk. So your creation and writing will be done parallelly. Okay, using the eager writer. So this is how your performance will improve. Also, one point, just remember, if someone is asking about eager writer, you can tell that. So eager writer will improve the performance of when we are performing select into, bulk insert, or write a text or update text. So eager writer will helps to creating the page and writing the page parallelly. Okay, so we are performing bulk only, right? So mostly bulk means like billions of records. So SQL need to create the pages every time, and it need to copy to the data file, sorry, buffer cache, and need to write the data into the buffer, right? So that will be happen parallelly that will be happen parallelly by the eager writer will improve in backend. If someone is asking eager writer, just add this point. That's it. Very rare case you will get this question. Very rare case. Only one time I got this question. Okay. Yeah, next, acid properties. So what is acid properties? Anyone?
Yeah, it's atomicity, consistency, durability, and uh, isolation levels.
Okay.
So these are the basic requirements to transaction clean, and that's all.
Okay, see. every transaction, all database management systems are, it will applicable. Every transactions, whatever you are performing, that need to satisfy asset properties. Okay, that need to satisfy by asset properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Okay, three are very simple, sir, but isolation I will take a separate session. Okay, so hardly we need to spend around 6 to 8 hours to complete the isolation level concept. Okay, so complete your locking, blocking, deadlocks will be completely depends on isolation level. Okay, so if you want to know about the locks, blocks, deadlocks, how SQL server will place a lock, how to SQL server will create a blocking, deadlocking. So first we need to know isolation level. We'll discuss a lot about isolation level in coming session. As of now, every transaction, so whatever you are performing, that need to be satisfy asset properties. So what is atomicity? A transaction must be an atomic unit for the working nature, do everything or do not do anything. Okay, means a transaction either fully committed or fully rolled back. Example, very best example is your ATM machine, sir. Atomicity for a best example, atomicity is ATM machine. So when you sorry, yeah, okay, when you go to the ATM machine, in sometimes if something happened to backend in server, okay, when you are detecting 5,000 or 10,000 amount price, but okay, amount is detected from your account, but you not get any amount from the ATM machine. Then you will go and raise a case to the on bank, right? Yes or no? And bank people will tell, even not only ATM, sir. When you go for Phone Pay, when you go for Google Pay, sometimes your transaction will fail in middle, but amount is detected from your account, but it's not delivered to the right concern person. But when you contact the when you contact the customer care of your specified bank, so they will inform you, okay, it will reflect after 2 to 3 days. Atomicity, every transaction need to be fully committed, sir. Means you need to get the amount and your amount need to be deducted from your account. Okay, that is fully committed. If something happened, no worries, sir, your transaction will be rolled back. Your transaction will be rolled back. The best example is ATM machine. Atomicity, every transaction is fully committed or fully rolled back. Got you? Online people? Hello, online people?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Next,
yes.
consistency. So whatever the transactions you are performing, that should not be violate the state of your behavior of your database and database objects. Okay, means it should not violate the behavior. Okay, the transaction should not leave the database and its relation structure in inconsistent state. So whatever you are performing the transaction, that need to be like a consistent, means so for example, you are entering a duplicate record into the database, assume. So that should not be go into the database, right? That is violating behavior of your database and database object, right? So that will be taken care by the consistency. Every transactions whatever you are performing, that should not affect your behavior of your database and database objects. Okay, that will be taken care by the consistency. Clear, online people?
Yeah.
Okay, isolation level. So we are discussing only in one or two words in isolation now. Okay, we have, that is what I told you, we have separate session because isolation, we have different types of isolation level. See, 1 second, sir. Okay, yeah. See, isolation is nothing but independent. Every transaction, so whatever you are performing, that should be independent. Okay, so so if you take, it is also like a, see, if you go to the ATM machine, if you go to the any theater mall, okay, you will stand in line, right, to collect a ticket. Okay, like same, every transaction should be a data only before or after the okay concurrent transaction get complete. Means every transfer, for example, user one is accessing a object, user two cannot access the same object at same time. But there are different types, sir. We'll discuss a lot, okay? Because isolation contains different types, like read commit, read uncommit, repeat, repeatable read, serializable isolation level, a snapshot isolation level, a snapshot with commit isolation level. So we have around 6 types of isolations available. Based on your isolation level, okay, based on your isolation level, your locks behavior will be changing. How SQL Server will place a locks based on your isolation level. Okay, so if you want to do strong at locking, blocking, deadlock, first of all you need to strong at isolation level. So this is the hierarchy, sir. When you go for isolation level, you need to know about the reads, then you need to know about the isolation level, then you need to know about locking, then blocking, then deadlocks. Follow the hierarchy. That will be very good when you are troubleshooting blocking and deadlocks. Okay, so isolation level is just like independent, sir. Every transaction, post concurrent transaction, if multiple user wants to access the same object, so what will happen? Until unless the first transaction is complete, second transaction won't allows, right? Yes or no, online people? So
Yeah.
assume this is my counter. Okay, counter 1, counter 2, counter 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm having 3 counters. Okay, so only one database. Okay, assume I have one database having 3 counters. Means in one database having 3 objects. Assume from your point of view, it's the 3 different objects. So if I'm accessing object 1, okay, so I can tell to any other users, don't access object 2 and object 3. No, every object is independent, right? Every object is independent. You can access remaining object because object 1 is accessing by user 1. User 2, user 3 can access object 2 and object 3. Okay, that is how the concurrent transaction will work. See, multiple users can access your database at a time. In that scenario, your isolation level, uh, based on the isolation level, your SQL Server will place a locks on the objects to protect your transactions. To protect your transactions, SQL Server means, so assume this is object 1 employee table. Okay, user 1 is performing insert operation. Insert operation. User 2 wants to access the same object, same time, select operation. Will it allow or not? Will it SQL need to be allow, or it need to be hold for user to tell to user to hold for a while because user 1 is performing certain operation. See, when you go to the ATM machine also same thing will happen, right, sir? If we have, when you are going to the ATM machine, you just went to verify how much balance, how much amount is available in my account, and before that one user is went and is trying to inserting, is trying to credit some amount in the bank. Can you go and asking, okay, go side, I will need to check my amount in my account? No, right? Until the user 1 complete, user 2 cannot perform any operation. In a generic terms, how it will works in SQL also, it will work same only, but there are slight differences is available that we'll discuss a lot in the isolation level concepts. Clear? Any questions, online people?
No.
So automation, atomicity, consistency, isolation level. Okay, isolation level plays a key role. We'll discuss a lot about isolation level in coming sessions. Next, durability. All the transactions should be persisted. Okay, in system failure means in case if something happened to your system failure, no worries, sir. Your data will be protected in the log file. So whatever the log records you log you are performing changing, right, that will be automatically moving into the log file. Internally we have the log writer. Okay, log flush. So this concept will comes when we are discussing log file architecture, sir. Okay, so log flush will be available internally. That log flush will flush your data from the buffer to LDF. So when it is flushing also, we may notice sometime like performance issues. Okay, that is the durability. So every transaction, so whatever you are performing, that need to be satisfy asset properties. Okay, so clear about clean paste, dirty paste, wall, checkpoint, lazy writer, eager writer, asset properties. So till now, whatever we discussed, we have almost 5 to 6 interview questions, sir. One is, what is the default port number of SQL Server? Can you please explain SQL Server architecture? What is the page and what is the extent? Okay. 3. And difference, what is the dirty page? And difference between checkpoint and lazy writer? Okay. Very rare case you will get one question called what is asset properties. Okay. Total overall 6 questions are available, interview questions till now. Now, please make a note all these interview questions. One is architecture, page and extent, dirty page, okay, checkpoint and lazy writer difference. Very rare case you will get eager writer, but try to remember it. And what is that asset properties, and what is the default port number? Can we change the port number? Yes, sir, we can change the port number. So any question till now, the base concept come, we almost done the base concept, sir. Okay, so any questions till now before moving into the further like SQL instance level editions? Online people, Murali, Maruti, Anita,
Yeah,
Arjun.
okay.
No questions.
Okay. Okay, so please make a note. 6 interview questions are available till now. Okay, whatever we discuss. Apart from most of no one will ask any other questions. Okay. Next, instance. Okay, so an instance is a database engine. It is a copy of SQL serve.exe executable that runs on as on operating system service. Okay, so instance is nothing but technically we are calling when you are installing a SQL server. Technically, we'll call it as an instance. Technically, we'll call it as an instance. Nothing but it is a complete our database engine. It's like a copy of SQL serve, not SQL server, sir. SQL serve.exe. When you go to the let me open task manager, go to the details, see SQL serve.exe. Currently I'm having 1, 2, 3 because in my laptop having 3 instances. Okay, 3 SQL server instance, 3 different instances. Okay, that is why you are able to see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it is nothing but an instance is nothing but a database engine of copy of SQL server.exe executable that runs in the operating system service. If you stop this one, your SQL services will stop. Backend. Okay, complete your SQL services will stop. Okay, each instance manages its own system objects and one or more user databases. Means every instance is a unique user. There is no dependency. In one laptop, assume you take any one of the server, any laptop or any desktop, any VMs which you created over the Azure. Okay, you can install. I am not telling only we need to install 2014 all different instances. No, you can install 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, sorry 2019 in one mission. Okay, up to 50 instance you can install in one server. Max you can install 50. One is the default, one is the 49 are the named instance. So we have 2 types of instance. One is the default instance, one is the named instance. Okay, each instance is a unique user. You can create a number of databases, you can perform a number of transactions. Every instance is a unique queue. There is no dependency, sir. So each instance will maintain the different DLLs, exe files, backend. It will maintain separate everything. See, when you go to the C drive, when you go to the C drive, okay. So let me go to the program files. So Microsoft SQL Server, see, it will maintain the unique separate files, sir. Like MS SQL dot MS SQL Server is my default instance, my dev instance, my test instance, my prod instance. See, we are maintaining a different unique folders. There is no concept where there is a dependency. In my laptop, I'm having two 2019 versions and one 2017 version. So two versions I'm using. So one is 2017 and two are 2019. So you can install whatever version you want. Okay, but you need to see what operating system you are, whether your operating system is supported for the higher versions or not. As of now, I know everyone mostly using Windows 10 and Windows 8. Okay, so Max it will supports all Windows 8 and Windows 10. In case if you are using Windows 7, Windows XP, Vista, so it won't compatible sir highest versions. So please you need to upgrade your operating system first before trying to install the SQL. We'll discuss what are the prerequisites. Okay. So instance is nothing but a copy, sir. A copy of your database engine, that is SQL server.exe. An instance is a complete copy of SQL Server installation. A complete whatever you are performing installation, right? That is nothing but a copy. Okay. So we can create two types of instance. One is a default instance, one is a named instance. Okay. Max number means, so
So,
they are telling 50.
so if it is a default or named instance, it will run the server.ext format in the taskbar, right? So if we want to
Yes.
stop only the one SQL server, then how we need to identify whether this instance is belong to which exe? By what basis we need to identify?
Process ID, Anita. Tomorrow I will show you. Process ID.
Okay,
We have the process ID. When you go to the process ID,
process ID.
process ID.
Oh.
Okay. So when you go here, so you will get the process ID. See, I will show you tomorrow. Okay. Good question.
Okay.
Tomorrow we are spending all time over the SQL installation. Okay. How to install from the GUI graphical user interface. How to perform the split stream. Okay, that will also will discuss. Okay, what is split stream? How to perform that installation via command prompt. We'll discuss everything. I will show you on the same time. Okay. Okay. So we have two instances. One is default instance. One is named instance. A default instance only one default instance for one server. Sir. One default instance for one server. Okay. That can be any version. That can be any version. One default instance will be compatible for one server. Means default instance is nothing but whatever your computer name, your SQL name is also same. Your computer name equal to SQL name. That is the default instance. Means if you wanted to try to connect to the default instance, you can try to connect with the computer name directly. Your computer name, your default instance, both are same. Okay. So named instance means computer name means nothing but server name. Okay, backward slash. Okay, instance name. Okay, so when you go for default, only server name. Okay, so please try to remember a default name is nothing but a server name. Okay, so named instance is nothing but a server name slash instance name. You can create a max like a 49 named instance. So maxly in real world also you will see max 2, 3, 4. Beyond that, no. The performance will lag like anything. Okay, so max in real world you may see only on few servers like 3 or 4 instances in one server. Okay, so default instance is nothing but a server name, and the named instance is nothing but server name slash instance. So instance is nothing but a copy of your SQL server. That is nothing but a SQL server.exe which is running from the operating system level. Got you? Clear, everyone? Online people, no questions? Yadav, Suresh, Raju.
No.
Yeah. Then we'll go for editions. Okay. So when you installing the operating system, also you will have the editions, right? Data center edition, standard edition, pro edition, home base edition, right? When you are installing operating system, your Windows operating system, also you can see multiple editions. Like when you go to the SQL server, also there are lot many editions are like enterprise edition, standard edition, express edition, web based editions, developer editions. Okay, okay. Mostly used edition. So it's nothing but like a capacity, some type of capacity plan means we cannot do beyond that one. When you go for standard edition, see, standard edition will support up to 20 core processor. 20 core processor, it cannot, you cannot increase more than 20 core processor. If you wanted to use more than 20 core processors, see, in my laptop having 8 core processors, sir. Okay, let me go to the task manager, go to the performance. So how many logical processors are available? 8. My laptop is running with 8 core processor. Okay, so when you go to the standard edition, when you go to the enterprise edition, is unlimited, sir. You can play with the SQL server like anything. You can keep how many core processor, how much of memory to the SQL server. Okay, you can enable the TDE. Okay, TDE, like if you wanted to encrypt your data, that is also will done in the enterprise edition. Okay, so few, when you are working on with enterprise edition with the standard edition, so there are few restrictions, there are few complexity you will face in standard editions. Like standard edition, beyond the 20 core processor you cannot increase, and max up to 128 GB memory you can use. Okay, so but we can here it won't support TDE concept. Okay, so there are few risks, but almost like a, how, what is the ratio, sir, when we go for standard edition and enterprise edition in real world means like a 70 and 30. 70% will use standard edition, 30% will use enterprise edition, because license cost, you need to see the cost as well, right? If my application really wants enterprise features, then I can go for enterprise. Otherwise, mostly I will prefer the standard edition. Real world mostly will go for standard editions. In case my application really wants these features that is not compatible in standard edition, then I can go for enterprise editions. You may face
Even
this question.
2019 some limitations are there, right?
Yes,
In enterprise
yes,
edition
yes,
also.
yes. Enterprise edition max no, sir.
Some limitations. We can't able to use more than 16 cores.
No, this is a document provided by Microsoft.
In enterprise edition.
Yeah, in the enterprise edition, see, this document is provided by Microsoft. I am not make it document. This
No,
is document
can
purely.
we use more than 16 cores for 2019?
Yeah, here up to 24, right? Only standard is supporting 24. Standard itself is supporting 24, means how enterprise can 16?
Okay, because actually recently, okay, fine.
No. No. Completely, both images are taken from the Microsoft block only. Okay, so because the futures, the limitations will be changing frequently. It's very difficult to get right. So I just went to the Microsoft block. I just make a note so that everyone will be stick with this one. Okay, in Express edition, maybe someone who asked this question, Raju.
Yeah, Raju. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in Express edition up to 16 core of CPUs.
Okay.
Express edition. Okay, so so nothing, sir. There are limitations apart from major difference you notice when you go for Express edition, sir. Mostly we need to support the Express edition. In real world, mostly you will see enterprise, standard, Express. Very rare case you will see the developer editions. Okay, in Express we have one major is we don't have agent. We don't have agent concept, like where you cannot make any automation. You need to use the PowerShell script, or you need to use the batch files to run the Windows level task to make the automation. on the Express editions. Okay, directly there is no concept called agent concept in the Express edition. That is a major notice you will see. So that is what there are limitations, sir. When you go for editions level, enterprise, standard, okay, Express, developer, limitations apart from almost how you perform the installation, that is almost is same, almost is same. Okay, so Max, next week I will share you the complete Google Drive link, okay, where you can download from SQL 2000 to 2019. Okay, that is up to your point. Keep handy. Okay, you can play with the 2000, 2005, 2008, 8R2. I will share you complete the link. Okay, so where you can go and download it. So clear? Not clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, now see, when we go for features concepts, that I am taking in a separate session. So what are the features introduced on 2016? What are the features introduced on 2017? So what are the features are introduced on 2019? Okay, so drastically changed, sir, when compared to 2012. 2012 we have one interesting feature called always on, content database, column store index. So these are the three major features in 2012. 2014 to two features, OLTP memory and cardinality estimation. That is the two interesting feature introduced on 2014. But when you go for 2016, 2017, 2019, lot many enhancement done by the Microsoft. Okay, like 2016 we have R language, Python language, Polybase, okay, and Struts database, uh, always encryption, auto seeding. These many features are introduced on 2016. So all are very interesting concept. We'll discuss all in a separate session. Future concept. In 2017, we have one very interesting concept is completely. See, you are building the SQL on the different platform. Until 2016, Microsoft is completely strict with the Windows operating system. Means you cannot install your SQL server on any other platforms. So completely SQL is built for Windows operating system. But on 2017 onwards, you can build your SQL server on the Linux platform as well. Okay, so that is a one major enhancement done on the 2017. Apart from there are lot many features, like one interesting concept is adaptive query processing. This is one interesting concept, but in 2017 than 2019 we have like a very interesting concept than this adaptive query processing. It is enhancement done on 2019, that is intelligent query processing. Very interesting feature. We'll discuss intelligent query processing so that it will also covers the adaptive query processing. So enhancement done in 2019, where you can install the Docker and even the big data cluster. Okay, you can build in 2019 big data cluster. So lot many features are enhancement done on each versions. Okay, so 2019 is completely like a mission level language, based on the mission level language. So Microsoft designed 2019. So almost we'll discuss a 10 to like a 10, almost 10 features. We'll discuss top 10 features. So how it will works, like a column store index, OLTP memory, so Struts database, adapt intelligent query processing. We'll discuss the top 10 features. We'll cover in features concept with the practicals. Okay. Questions?
Just one question. Like
Yes.
in 2017, it says RHEL, right? Linux platform we can install. So is the license will be for only Linux or Red Hat license, or it will be again both we need? Red Hat license and SQL Server?
That is very good question, sir. Actually, see, we have different flavors. When you go for, especially when you go for Linux, we have different flavors like Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS. So these are the topmost flavor we will use in real world. When you go to the real world, Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is license cost is bit lower when compared to Red Hat and CentOS. CentOS is bit costlier license. Okay, so when you wanted to go to the SQL on the Linux, then they need to purchase the first Linux license. Then on top of that, you can keep your SQL Server. No need to worry if you have the license of SQL Server. And one interesting point, sir, if you have the SQL Server Linux in on-prem, same license you can use in the Azure cloud as well. But there are some calculations, sir, that I will explain you, like how the license will convert in Azure. Okay, so when you are going for vCore methodology, when you go for DTU purchasing model, vCore purchasing model, so there are calculations. That calculations I will explain in the Azure concept. But the application team need to purchase the license for first Windows platform, sorry, Linux platform. Then on top of that, you can install the SQL Server with the same Linux, same license.
Okay, but again, that should be compatible versions, right?
Yes,
With Linux. Okay.
like latest versions they will use 16.8 Ubuntu means. We'll use Ubuntu, sir. I will show you Ubuntu, how to install SQL on Linux. We'll have one session, but don't expect a lot from the Linux, okay? Okay, it's
Yeah.
like too many comments, but I can promise you people, okay? You will be good at Linux. How to install the SQL, how to create the folders. At basic level, I will cover everything, sir. Okay?
Okay.
Because nowadays you need to support on Linux platform as well, right? So we'll have the separate sessions, sir. 1 week, one weekend, I will make one session for Linux completely. So I will provide you a separate doc for you. Okay, what are the steps you need to go? And before that, I also tell you what are the commands, what is the difference between Red Hat and Ubuntu. Slight minor difference, sir, Red Hat and Ubuntu, but Red Hat and CentOS is same, sir. If you know the Red Hat, you are familiar with the CentOS as well, because same commands you will use, but only differs is Ubuntu. Okay. Yes. Now, okay, the major prerequisites. Okay, so see, we cannot make everything in the notes, sir. So let me explain you few of the important prerequisites when you are performing the installation of SQL Server. So whatever we are going to do tomorrow, installation. So let me explain you what are the major prerequisites you need to take care when you're going to perform the SQL installation. We cannot go and blindly perform the SQL installation, right? So you need to take some inputs. Okay, so what are the inputs before you performing the installation? After you performing the installation, what are the changes you need to perform? That we'll discuss after we perform the installation. So before we performing the installation, so what are the inputs you need to gather from the client? So for example, assume I am the customer, you are the DPS. I just created a ticket. Okay, hi Murli, can you please install SQL Server 2019? Just I create a ticket and assign to your group, and I left for the day. Can you perform installation?
No,
Will you able to perform the installation? No. On which server, which edition, right? You need to get some inputs, right, from the requester, from the end user, to perform certain activity, because it is not a easy where we can directly for your laptop you can install whatever the instance that is acceptable. But when you go to the real world, you need to take some inputs. So what are that inputs means? Whether you need to install the SQL Server on standalone or cluster. Okay, SQL on standalone, SQL on cluster. That is the one thing. Okay, so SQL on cluster or SQL on standalone. What is the difference? I will explain you. Okay, that is the first major point. One you need to take, whether we need to install the SQL on standalone, SQL on cluster level. Okay. Next, version. Which version we need to install, like a 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019. Okay, so based on the version, you need to get the software and hardware requirements. See, so let me go to the Google. You need to first majorly look the software and hardware requirement. Any version, sir. So for example, I wanted to install 2019. Okay, I required hardware and software requirement of 2019. So go to the MSDN block, trust MSDN block. Okay, so scroll down, scroll down. Yeah, you will get complete Windows level history. So Windows 10, Windows 8 is not compatible for 2019. If your operating system is Windows 8, so you cannot install the 2019. Okay, so at least you should like a Windows 10, home or professional or enterprise or IoT enterprise. Okay, then Windows Server 2000. So this is from the real-time perspective. Mostly we will go for servers, Windows servers. Windows 2016, Windows 2019 are compatible for the 2019. Okay, so when you go to the scroll down, so when you go for 2016 hardware and software, yeah, see 2016, 2017 can be installed in Windows 8. You can install 2017, 2016. Okay, so this is the software hardware, like how much memory mostly 1 GB is sufficient. Okay, RAM is 1 GB sufficient, and the disk can be 1 GB. Okay, minimum 512 is also okay. So mostly when you start the installing the SQL server, just verify whether your Windows operating system is compatible. Sir, how to get my operating system details? So you can go to the, okay, ms info 32, ms info 32. See, complete your operating system details, you will get it. So what is the OS, which one you are using? Okay, Windows 10 home single language. Okay, I'm using Windows 10 home base. Okay, what is the version? Okay, how many core processor is? So what is the RAM? Okay, and what is the disk capacity also, will get it. So I'm using 2 disks, sir. So one is so 2 disks completely, 250 is SSD and 1 terabyte is HDD. Okay, SSD with, I'm using combo. Okay, SSD plus HDD. So complete this 1 terabyte is HDD and this 250 GB is SSD. So SSD is much faster when compared to HDD. Okay, got you? So this is what you need to verify, what is the hardware, software. Okay, so and edition, which edition I need to install the SQL, like whether I need to go for enterprise edition or need to go for standard edition. Okay, license details means licensely they will take care. Okay, we no need to worry, mostly you no need to worry. License part they will handle up, your application team will purchase the license. Okay, and very interesting concept is binary file locations, where I need to store all my SQL related binary files, like complete binary files like DLLs, exe files, executable files of your SQL server, apart from data file, log file, backups, tempdb, system databases. So in real world, see, you cannot go and make everything in one disk, right? In real world, we cannot go and make everything in one disk. In real world, we will keep the data file in separate disk. Okay, log file in separate disk. Mostly you can keep log file and backup in one disk. Okay, it can be acceptable. Okay, tempdb in separate disk. Okay, system databases you can keep with the data file itself. Okay, so this is the directory allocation. So don't go and blindly install complete your SQL in one drive. In real world, we need to make a separate disk for data file, log file, tempdb to improve the performance of your SQL server. Okay, that is the one thing. Binary file location is very important. Don't go and blindly choose one location when you are performing installation. So based on application requests, okay, we need to also suggest application team. Okay, so to give the better performance, we should not keep everything in one disk. Keep separate disk for data files, log file for separate data file. TempDB, especially TempDB, sir. Especially TempDB should be in separate disk to reduce the TempDB contention. To reduce the TempDB contention. Okay, so binary file location. Next is authentication mode. Authentication mode, like we need to while you are performing the SQL installation itself, I need to select the Windows authentication or mixed authentication. So we'll discuss a lot in security concepts, sir. This concept. Okay, so mixed authentication. Later, after you perform the installation, also you can do this authentication changes. Okay, but when you are performing the installation, if you wanted to perform, you can. Okay. Okay, okay, that is the one point. Okay, next is very important is service account. Okay, when you got the installation, when you got any new SQL installation, see, you need to raise a service account request. You need to get the details from your project. If you are freshly taking the KT, or you are old who is already working as a DPS, they know familiar. Service account means when you install the SQL server, you will get the services, sir. Okay, SQL related service. When you search, see here, you will get the SQL services, right? These SQL services, under which account I need to run. It is also login, sir. It is also login. So especially this login I am using to run only for my SQL services. So that technically we are calling this service account. So this is the account, this is the service. So to run the service, so I'm using this service account. So whenever you got any request, so you need to raise the service account. Hardly it will take around 1 day to get a service account in real world. Hardly it will take 1 day. So you need to wait until the service account be created. So first, once you got any new build request, technically don't call it as a SQL installation. New build. We are building a new SQL server instance. Okay, new build. When you got any new request, okay, to build the SQL server, okay, first you need to raise the service account. For example, let me give you a few examples so that you will be good. Okay, so I'm having different domains, sir. We'll discuss a lot about the domain concepts as well. NA domain, SA domain, EA domain, AP domain, uh, downstream. So I'm having different domains, sir. Okay, my servers are hosted on NA, North America, SA, South America, EA, Europe, Asia, AP. AP means Asia Pacific. Okay, upstream, downstream. So these two, assume this is my project structure, sir. Okay, I am not discussing about how your project will looks like, but better understanding. So this is how my project's server who is hosted. Either the server is hosted on NA, or server is hosted on SA, server is hosted on EA, server is hosted on AP, server is hosted on upstream or downstream. So upstream, downstream is nothing but Gulf countries, sir. If my application is a Gulf country supported application, so my servers will be hosted on upstream or downstream. Completely it is in Gulf. Okay, Asia Pacific means even my project servers are hosted in Bangalore. Okay, so then we'll use AP domain. So EA, SA. So sir, how I need to get this domain where my server is hosted? Means once you got the, see, definitely they will ping you the server name, right? Over the ticket they will tell you where you need to install the SQL. So once you got the server name, go to the command prompt and ping with server name, sir. Don't ping with IP address. Ping with server name. Like what is the server name? My let me okay, host name.
Host
Okay, this is my host name. Is server name. Okay, ping. Okay, definitely if your server is part of domain mean, definitely you will get here domain name, sir. So how it will get the domain name is server name dot domain name dot com. So this is fully qualified domain name. In real world, this is how your server looks like when you ping server name, you will get server name dot na dot com. Assume, okay, my server is part of na domain. If I am getting sa, okay, my server is part of sa domain. If I am getting ea, my server is part of ea domain. First you need to get the domain name. Sir, why I need to get the domain name? Definitely will get. Okay, so that is what I am telling, right? You need to raise the service account request. So every account is also must and should contain the domain. So if your server is part of a domain and you are using na domain to raise the service account, okay, so it is not it is not compatible, sir. Please maintain same domain. Your server name, your service account must and should be part of same domain. Getting my point? Online people?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so very important, sir. That is why I am spending a lot of time here. Service account is very important. This is what your real time. Okay, I can tell you a single word. Okay, service account, raise the request. Okay, this is how your real world looks like. So your servers are hosted on different domains: NA, SA, EA, AP, upstream, downstream. Okay, example I am telling, sir. When you are raising a request, so we have IT service portal, sir, like IT service portal.com portal. So if you wanted to raise a service account, I will go to this portal and I will raise the uh, service account request. Okay, in your project also you may use any third party URLs. Okay, get it that one, and you know how to raise the request. They will guide you first time when you are entering into the project. They will guide you definitely how to raise the service account request. But please try to remember, every SQL server must and should be run in the service account. Sir, can I run locally? Yes, sir, you can run locally, but if you wanted to configure like log shipping or mirroring or any high availability technique, it won't compatible if you are running with the local. Okay, so local is not compatible for any high availability techniques. Okay, make sure that every SQL services need to run with the service account. You can educate your application team. Make sure that every SQL services need to run with the service account. Okay, so we will follow one standard, sir. XX is the standard, SQL is the MySQL, and the server name. So this is the standard we'll follow when we are raising the service account. Like let me explain you. If I'm installing a business intelligence tool, sir, SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. If you want to do service account for SSIS, SSRS, SSAS also, we'll use XSSR. Okay, so server name for reporting services, SCA for analysis services. Okay, so this is how your service account will work. So I will explain you again the service account concept when we are discussing authentications, NTLM Kerberos. Okay, when we are discussing SPNs, very complex troubleshooting. Okay, so when we are discussing SPN concept, so definitely I will explain you what is NTLM authentication, what is Kerberos authentication, what are the SPNs. Okay, so what is the best practices you need to follow when you are using NTLM and you are using Kerberos. So what are the SPNs need to be registered, how to delete, how to create. We'll discuss a lot in authentication modes. Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So when you go for mixed authentication mode, sir, when you going for mixed authentication mode, you need to set the password for SA. So you may ask the password, or you can enter the a valid password. Later we can change the password after you perform the installation itself, after installation as well. Okay, SA password also required when you are enabling the mixed authentication. No need to worry, we'll discuss a lot under the security concepts. Okay, next, collation language. Okay, so by default, every when you are performing installation, it is a Latin, sir. So sometimes application team will ask, request you like a Spanish language, Japanese language. Okay, so their local languages, you can change the collation. You can change the collation. And what components we need to install, like SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Okay, so while you are performing the SQL installation, is also part of SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Sir. You need to ask, is there any business intelligence tools need to be installed? Okay, if they are not specifying, no need to worry about SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Sir. If specially they are asking, definitely you need to install SSIS, SSIS, SSRS. So we have the separate session for these three concepts, sir. I will explain you what DBA roles are. Don't expect a lot, okay? SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. So as how much content you need as a DBA, so we'll discuss SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, and also Power BI, sir. Okay, let me add you. Okay, Power BI, because Power BI like advanced for SSRS. Sir. Power BI is like advanced for SSRS. Okay, so these are the major prerequisites before you perform the SQL installation. So service account, collation, SA password, either you are performing standalone or cluster hardware requirement, binary file locations, editions, okay, versions. So these are all major prerequisites. Clear? Not clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Now I will show you everyone. I can share you this link as well, sir. Okay. Again, the window is completely changed. Okay. Go to free trial. This is the best link, sir. Okay. Now I will share you this link, sir. Okay. Okay. Please make it handy, everyone. Okay. Please copy it. Okay. And keep it handy. See, here you are getting 20 SQL Server 2019, SQL Server 2017, SQL Server 2016, SQL Server 2014. Okay. So go for exe file. Okay, and click on continue. You can download all the versions, sir, and keep it handy. So this is the link where you can download 2014, 2016, 2017, and 2019. Just you need to extend this one. Okay, and just you need to click exe file, executable file. Okay, so just click on here and click on exe and go to the continue and provide your name, sir. So for example,
Subbu, which version we are going to install as part of the training?
2019, any version, sir, any as you were expert. Okay, any version, but I will completely teaching on 2017 and 2019.
Okay, actually my voice is 2017.
Sorry.
2000. Actually, my voice version is 2007.
Okay, if even that is what 2019 won't support Windows 8 operating system, sir. You need to go for Windows 10 operating system. Okay. Any value, sir, nothing, so it won't harm. Okay. uh, any choose any values, provide your email address. Any email address, sir. Okay, and work phone number. Okay, and India. Okay, and click on continue. So it will download one exe file, sir. Don't expect your SQL server is 4.5 MB. Your SQL is approximately 1.5 TB. Okay, sorry, 1 gig, not 1.0 TB. Okay, 1 gig. Okay, it's a evaluations edition, sir. Like it is like a enterprise edition only. You can play with, like for students purpose, for our learner purpose. Microsoft introduced the evaluation edition. It is like enterprise edition only. It's unlimited. You can do anything. Go to the media download. Okay, and use ISO file and click on download. Got you? Go to the media file. Okay, go to the media file. Don't go for basic and custom. Go to download media. Go choose ISO file and click on download. Okay, so this is how you need. Please everyone make it handy tomorrow. We'll discuss tomorrow. Complete the SQL installation from the graphical user interface. Then we'll discuss about the split stream. What is the split stream? How to perform the split stream installation? We'll go for practical. Okay. Questions?
No.